The number one learning lesson that I learned altogether in a weight loss journey, if you're trying to lose that loose skin, get to a low body fat percentage, it really starts with being unconditional towards the process. And this is one thing that I learned by attending the All Access event in Houston a few months ago. And being unconditional to the process is being able to understand what is required. It's being able to understand what's necessary to get you from where you are now to where you want to be in your fitness journey. And most likely, it's going to have to start with aggressive tracking is the first thing, and making sure you have actual numbers behind how much you're expending in a day in terms of your calories burned, and monitoring that on a consistent weekly, monthly, yearly basis. And it's easier said than done. The nuance and the importance behind why I'm speaking this is because when you become unconditional to the process, you're not focused on simple metrics like you trying to lose that first 1 to 2 pounds within the first week or within the first 2 weeks. You're more focused on the result instead of being more conditional to the actual process. The process for an individual like yourself, maybe adolescent, who is looking to lose weight, may most likely be you are having to go about your life not tracking anything. And it's important that you trust and lean into the process, and it requires you to not only track your foods relentlessly like an addict. That's the very first thing. And secondly, is making sure you monitor that on a consistent basis. And if you don't have any numbers behind how much and what is going on in your day, it makes it disgustingly hard for you to actually see progress, to losing belly fat, to building out your lines in your physique, and actually just putting yourself in the better position possible to elevate both in body and in mind. And that ultimately starts with looking into the process and being unconditional towards it. Most guys, it's an easy problem for most guys to never be conditional. And as a result, they fall off on their fitness goals a lot faster than you can even begin to think of. When it comes down to being unconditional, it requires you, it's all it simply means is that you are looking and doing everything you can every single day, and you're detaching yourself from the outcome, you're detaching yourself from the result, you're detaching yourself from how your physique is going to look in the long term. That is what it means to be unconditional, instead of being conditional when you feel like showing up 2, 3, or 4 times in a week, when you should be showing up 7 times in that week. Very important is it in doing so, because if you only show up half of the week, you can very much expect to get half-baked results, and it's going to show in how you look. It's a representation of how your physique looks now to where you want it to look in the next 6 months, the next year from now. And it's very important that you develop a disgusting level of awareness in how that process is supposed to look for you, and detach from the outcome. I've learned to detach myself not only on social media in terms of the result, and focus on being unconditional in the process. You need to be conditional to your own weight loss journey. Are you consistently leaning into a meal plan and consistently tracking your macros, looking into how much of a macro count you need for your body to perform the way it needs to perform? So you lose the weight, you get rid of that disgusting pouch you have, and ultimately put yourself into a better position in your health in the long term. And if you're not doing so, looking at it from an angle of, am I consistently feeding my body what it needs to in order for it to perform to aid and help in simple processes like burning fat? Or am I just going about the whole meal plan in whichever way that I deem fit? And if you're consistently going about your life shoving food down your throat that isn't helping you lose weight, or you're not monitoring or tracking any of it in an app like my Fitbit or even my Fitness Pal, it makes it a lot more harder for you to actually see the change in how you want to look, because you have no actual numbers behind what's going on in your day. And if you want to see actual change in the way that you look, everything is going to start with you being ruthlessly consistent with logging everything in an actual app, or even journaling everything down, because when you know what's going into your body and you have actual numbers between how much calories you are consuming versus how much you're burning in a day, it makes it easy for you to make the right adjustments, to make well-informed decisions that's going to help you get you closer to your goal. Believe me, it's hard to make well-informed decisions if all you're doing is not logging or not tracking anything into the app itself, or you basically don't know what's going on in your day. It explains why you're not seeing any results whatsoever, because you're going off based off assumption or based off thought of what's going on in your day, when you should be going off of data, what you've written, what you've logged into your journal, the app, etc. And having all these numbers behind you, it makes the journey, it makes your confidence a lot more readily, makes it a lot more achievable for you to actually see the goal in hand. It makes it easy for you to actually line your steps up and know what's going on every single moment of the way, because you've taken the initiative, you've taken the decisiveness to log everything down, so you know whether or not you're actually going to be seeing change. I don't play the game of losing weight or maintaining my physique based off assumption, based off how I feel. I make the decision to log everything down, and by doing so, it's not by sheer inconvenience or by thought, maybe I'm going to alter my physique the way that I look. I know it's a possibility, and I know it's going to happen because I've taken the time out of my day to take concrete steps to log everything in, which gives me more detail, and it gives me more confidence, and it gives me absolute certainty that I know that I'm going to achieve the results, lose the stomach fat, build the muscle, and achieve a better quality of life that comes with building the physique as a result of it. That's what it means to be unconditional to the process, never conditional. It's never focusing on how you're going to look 6 months, how you're going to look a year from now, but it's focusing more on, am I tracking my steps every single day? Am I logging my macros in the app every single day that I'm getting the chance to do so? Am I staying accountable to the process every step of the way, and not being focused on how I'm gonna look in the results or in the 6 months to a year from now? It's very easy for most guys to get attached to the process. Then as a result of being so attached, they derail from the actual process itself when it's required every step of the way. Then they end up losing sight of the goal and why they've started the goal. And then they end up falling and starting a fitness journey, falling and starting. And this inconvenience of falling off and starting again, all it really does is create a lack of momentum needed to move you to where you want to be and the way that you look. All momentum really is starting first and developing this leeway, this momentum. And when you have that, you're able to consistently show up every single day of the week, every single day of your breathing moments, and that is what's going to create the physique you're looking to achieve. That is what's going to shape the way how you look. And it's going to present you with the opportunity to not only build a much better physique as a result of it, but a much better quality of life that resides with it. And if there's one thing that I've learned in my fitness journey that will continually translate to every other area of my life, it's always to be unconditional, never conditional. Because you never know what days you're not going to feel like showing up, and those days are the days that matters most. If you can't go based off on how you feel, your thoughts, your emotions, but you go off on it based off of actual conviction, being able to show up, being unconditional, never conditional. And that is what's going to allow you to build the physique you're looking to build, lose the stomach fat, lose that hanging pouch that you have, and put you in the position to lose your next 5 to 10 pounds in the next 30 days, or even 40 days, much less, give or take. That is all you need to know for the #1 learning lesson that will translate into your life if you implement this today.